what's the difference between those that actually do and when we talk about it specifically in house hacking, like what's the difference between those that actually house hack and those that don't? Like what's that X factor that separates those that do what they set out to do and those that don't?
I think it's their intentions and their why. I think some people want a house hack because it feels cool to be in real estate because real estate's hot, it's sexy, it's entrepreneurship in a way, shape, or form. Um, and I think a lot of those guys they don't wind up being successful because they're not in it for the right reasons. They don't realize all the stuff that comes along with it. I think the people who are successful, I think, are those natural born grinders. But I also think it's people who approach things with a level of practicality. I think a lot of people are in la la land when they think of things like, oh, I want to buy an apartment building in Hoboken, New Jersey, or in Royal Oak, a nice fourplex, and blah blah blah. And oh, I just found a duplex for $800,000. What the hell is wrong with you? But like in the sense of a lot of people are in la la land versus in like just a pure practitioner versus like reading Brandon Turner's book on low and no money down investing and then starting to taking the steps of meeting some people on Bigger Pockets, of finding an agent, find like what's the next step to start house hacking? Find an agent. Like you should have an like that like you're not even serious with me until you tell me you found an agent. They've set you up on the MLS and you're getting an email every day of every multi-unit that's coming on the market in that market. And then you're actually underwriting that
Yeah.
because you're not serious if you're not doing that to a point. So I think there's a level of, oh, I want to buy a fourplex. I drive around, every other day and I saw this property, saw that property. You're not serious at the end of the day, I think.
Yeah.
But it's back to exposure and education. Like, what do you know? How do you know how to get into this? Getting exposed to a podcast like this, you know that your first step is start calling agents. Like tomorrow, you could be underwriting 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 properties, but you haven't called an agent yet.
Yeah. I have a theory, just about that. It's like the shiny object syndrome, right? Where people, wholesaling and then this and then that and then this and then that. And I love what Brandon Turner says is that it almost doesn't matter what your first deal is. As long as it's something to where, it's structurally sound, it's just kind of an average deal. Probably like you, I read a lot of books. I'd listened to all kinds of podcasts, Bigger Pockets being the one, most of it. My first deal, it would have taken me, I learned more in that first deal than if I had read 1,000 books. Just that experience. You start to relate things. And so if you can literally you find a rock star agent, you find a rock star lender, they point you in a direction, you get an inspection, the house is structurally sound, you make sure that you don't have sewer problems, this and that, and you just break even, it's a win. It's a huge win. That, and it just gets the ball rolling and you do away with, shiny object syndrome. Nothing wrong with wholesaling, nothing wrong with buying 100 unit apartment, nothing wrong with flipping, nothing wrong with this. But if you can just narrow down and figure out one thing and all you do is focus on that one thing every single day, and you actually execute on that one thing, like house hacking, which is why we started a podcast directed solely on house hacking, was like, listen, yeah, it's great if you want to wholesale, but, ultimately, most people want to just buy their first deal. What's the easiest way to do it? Get someone else to pay for it. So if you buy a house hack and you actually just focus on house hacking and you do that house hack, it's going to lead to so much more, whether you want to build a real estate company or not. Like eliminating 35% of your budget, which is housing, which is the average American's housing. Like if you eliminate that by having someone else pay for your mortgage, boom, now you can go focus on being happy, doing a media company, going building a cannabis company, going focus on playing in the NFL, going to be a pro bowler like Drew, is and was.